What if I told you the battle for the most powerful AI chips on the planet is heating up and your portfolio might depend on it? Yeah, we're talking about AMD versus Nvidia. Now, of course, Nvidia, that's been like the big dog, and that's been the thing that everybody's talking about stock-wise over the last year. But you may remember, if you're a follower of this channel, I did a video on AMD. I started to invest in AMD, and a lot of you thought I was crazy, but it kind of is a game. And today in this video, we're going to talk about an update to Nvidia versus AMD. And I have a new challenge. Now, if you're new to the channel, 3 years ago, in fact, 3.5 years ago, I decided to start investing $5 a day into the stock market. The idea was, can I take a small amount of money if I don't have a lot of money and invest it and still get up ahead? Well, now 3.5 years later, I grew that portfolio to over $10,000. So now I have a new challenge with these two that I'm going to be revealing in today's video a little bit later. Now, this video is brought to you by Mumu. More on that in just a moment. Now, the first thing I want to look at here is on the screen, Seeking Alpha. We have AMD up 43% year to date. If we hop over to Nvidia, they're up 36% year to date. Now, at first glance, you might think, well, AMD is doing better than Nvidia. That's loosey-goosey. We got to dig under the hood a little bit. And a lot of you that have been investing in Nvidia probably are perking up right now like, wait. Don't start saying that AMD is better than Nvidia. There's facts that we need to uncover. And we will. But what I want to challenge you with, whether you're on the side of AMD, Nvidia, or both, is could there be an opportunity for AMD to pull ahead one way or the other? And I'm not saying beating Nvidia or putting Nvidia out of business or something wild and crazy like that. No, I'm talking about the idea of could AMD service your wealth portfolio in a more dynamic way than you would have thought in the past. In fact, just a short year ago, you thought probably AMD was going nowhere. But we got to do some additional digging. And then I'm going to put these two up to the test in a whole different and dynamic way. AMD just reported earnings, and the revenue was up, things were looking good, but there was some bad to it too. So after August 5th, 2025, when they reported earnings, the stock started to slide a little bit. It didn't quite meet all of the investors' expectations. So if we look at the last quarterly revenue, right, you have AMD reporting $7.7 billion in earnings. That beats the analyst expectations. That's great, but if you compare that to Nvidia, they're at $39.3 billion as of quarter 4. Now that is significant. The year-over-year growth for Nvidia is 78% compared to AMD's 32%. That's looking specifically at revenue. AI market share, now this is a big one, is 80% on Nvidia and only 10 to 15% on AMD. So you might be wondering to yourself, why are we even talking about this in the video? Why are we doing Nvidia versus AMD? It's very clear Nvidia is like the big king, and you're right. But as always, just like with the $5 a day challenge and all the other crazy videos that we talk about, I always look ahead to the future. You may remember when I talked about Palantir, when Palantir, in fact, was actually already taking off. Not during the $6 days. I was talking about it during the $24 days, but now look at my portfolio with only a sad mere 15 shares. Look at that percentage gain. See, the difference here is we have a significant opportunity to potentially take advantage of another workhorse in the future. Now, if you want the current AI leader, the current king, you're right to continue to investing in Nvidia. But if you're interested in something with AMD, that could be a breakout story, especially with their MI400 chip that's coming out that will power future AI developments, this could be something worth considering. See, the AI chip war is not slowing down. And I think even if there is a recession or some type of doom and gloom that happens, no matter what happens with that, there's still going to be the need for future of innovation of artificial intelligence. Even if it slows down a little bit, it's still going to come back roaring at some point. And so here's what we need to look for. If you're going to invest in Nvidia or AMD or both, you need to make sure you stay plugged into the quarterly earnings reports. You want to make sure that they're beating the analyst expectations. You want to make sure that as an owner of the company, when you buy an individual stock, that you're on point with making sure that the stock, or should I say the company, is performing as you, the owner, expect it to. And if you sense anything that doesn't seem right with their financials, they're not innovating like you expected them to, the analysts are getting worried, it might be time to start sizing down, which means selling some of that individual stock and either putting it into a good quality index fund or going to another company that you have a little bit more confidence in. But, I like to have some fun and mix things up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new challenge, and it's not going to be $5 a day. What I'm going to do is $50, or maybe I'll say $100 a week. Let me show you what this is all about. Lately, I've been having a lot of fun with the Moomoo app. Now, Moomoo is another great, powerful brokerage that offers commission-free trades. And, we're not in this old school mentality of every time you got to execute a trade, you got to pay somebody commission. That's just too old school, and it costs money that is just unnecessary. So get yourself commission-free trades by signing up with Mumu today, and they got a special offer, especially for the Nvidia versus AMD that I'm about to drop. But let me show you first how this works. Now, every week I'm going to take $100, but I'm going to split it, okay? And I'm going to split it in between Nvidia and AMD. I'm going to literally put them head to head in a portfolio, and we're going to see which one does better. And I'm going to give you updates on the channel, so make sure you subscribe for more, because what we're going to do is we're going to look at the earnings of both of these companies. We're going to look at the performance of both of these companies in my portfolio as I continue to add $50 to each company every single week, every single Friday from here on out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to assess, now, does this make sense to continue to buy? To maybe shift it and give more to Nvidia or more to AMD? That's what we're going to play with. Now, none of this is financial advice. This is me just showing you what I'm doing, and I'm not your personal financial advisor. So you got to make your own decisions. It's all on you. You're taking your own risk, but have fun with this journey that we're going to show here on the screen. So what I've done is, here's my account. I'm going to go to my account here in Mumu. Now, you're going to notice a couple things. First, I started this last Friday, August 1st, Friday, August 1st, 2025. I'm recording this right now on Friday, August 8th. So I'm going to actually do a trade right here live on the video to show you what's going on and also show you the cool benefits of Mumu. So one thing is, you're going to see right now my security assets are at $304.26. And then you look down here, it says market value. You see the difference there? So what makes this up is I have $200 in cash, $104 invested, that's my split of 50-50, and we'll see why it grew from 100 to 104 in just a moment, but that equals a total asset of $304. So what I did is I got ahead of the game and I decided to transfer money into Mumu. It's super easy to do. You just go into the transfer. I transferred it from my checking account. It took about 2 days to get in here. Once it is, now what they offer is a cash sweep. You see this down below? It says cash sweep. I right now have a 4.10% annual percentage yield on my cash that is chilling and waiting for me to invest. So what I might do is I actually might try to do, what is that, about $400 a month? Transfer $400 a month into Mumu, let it sit, gain 4%, why not, just for fun, while it's waiting for my weekly Friday investment. Now, what's really nice about this, and a benefit that Mumu offers that others do not, you don't have to pay for this 4.1%. I don't pay Mumu any extra money. This is a free app to get started, a free app to download. And I'm not paying any extra fees. And I'm going to call them out. I've done videos on Robinhood before, and they offer a 4%, but you have to pay for their gold subscription. There's a big difference there. This one, you don't have to pay for any gold subscription or Mumu subscription or anything else. You get this automatically when you sign up. And sometimes there's deals that when you get started, if you're not a Mumu customer, that you'll get 8%. More details on that in the link in the description below. So let's take a look at how we're performing as of the last week when I put in the money. So you can see right now I have two positions, AMD, and right now, look at that. The quantity is 0.29 shares or $51.27, which means that over the last week, from August 1st to August 8th, I gained a total, and you can see that by scrolling over here, of $1.28. But look at Nvidia. I gained a total of $2.99. So as of the recording of this video right now, Nvidia is winning the game as far as price return on my portfolio. Isn't that cool? So that's what we got going on. I got 51, 52, and that's what equals up here at the top, the 304.32 in my total security asset. Let me show you how to do this. It's super easy, and we're going to have some fun. A couple ways you can do this. You can hit this trade button right down here at the bottom if you wish to do so, or you could actually click on the individual position. So for example, if I click on AMD, you can see it says right here at the bottom, trade. I can click on that. And now what we're going to do is right now, live on camera, we're going to do the next $50 trade since it is Friday, August 8th. So regular trading hours is fine. Right now it is in the middle of the stock market trading day, so I'm going to keep that on. I'm going to go ahead and just do a market order. Don't really care. I'm in this for the long haul. I don't need to do day trading where I need to worry about a limit price. Don't really care. I know some of you like limit, and if you like limit, you can do that, but I'm just going to stick with market for now. And then quantity. Now, I don't want to worry about a fractional share and trying to figure that out. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on that little thing right next to where it says quantity, and boom, it turns into amount. That way I can say I want to invest exactly $50 out of my cash account, that cash balance that we had, into AMD. Then I'm going to hit buy. It's going to ask for my password. It'll unlock. You hit buy. There's just a confirmation saying you're about to do $50 into AMD. Great. Confirm. And then check it out. That quick. Order filled. We now have a little bit more of AMD. Let's go back to the portfolio, take a look at it. So now we're looking at $101.23 or 0.58. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a full share of AMD. We'll have to take a look. Let's do the same thing with Nvidia because we're doing $50 in each per week. I'm going to hit trade. I'm going to move this over to the amount. I'm going to put $50, hit done, hit buy. There's my confirmation, hit confirm. And just like that, orders filled for Nvidia. So as it stands right now, not much has changed because it's been a hot second, right, since we bought it, but total security value at 304.36. Down below here, we have AMD at a total value of 102.98, which means I've gained $2.98 since last week. AMD at $1.34. One thing for those people that think $2 is not a lot of money, it's all about the percentage, my friends. It's all about the percentage. Look at this. Unrealized profit and loss. 3.01% gained. If you put, let's say you're a big baller and you put $1 million into Nvidia on August 1st, in other words, so 3.01%, that means you would have gained an additional $30,100. See, it's not really about, oh, you only made a couple bucks. It's more about, hey, it's all about the percentage gained. Because the more money you put in, the more percentage that rises up, the more money you're going to get back. We're just doing small amounts. But I will say, compared to the $5 a day challenge, $50 a week is going to add up much quicker. And because we're not just doing an index fund, we're doing individual stocks, the volatility could be absolutely wild over the next couple of weeks. So here's what's cool about Moomoo. They're offering you a deal if you get signed up and if you want to have fun with this. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code up on the screen right now. It's going to take you over to this wonderful screen and take a look at what they're offering. You can get up to $1,000 in Nvidia stock and the 8.1% APY, and that's as of the recording of this video. Details and conditions apply. So the welcome bonus is if you deposit up to $100, you'll get $20. If you deposit over $50,000, you're going to get the big baller of $1,000 in Nvidia stock. Now look at this. The offer ends on September 25th, 2025. If you're watching this video after that point, just keep in mind that the offer may change, but you can still use the link in the description below or scan the QR code and see what kind of deal Moomoo is offering you. If you're a long-term follower, you may know I use a lot of different brokerage apps because I like to look at different ones based on my investing methodology. It just kind of helps me organize better. Instead of doing all of my different activities into one single brokerage, I like to mix it up. So this one is going to be my Nvidia versus AMD portfolio. But the bigger question is going to be, will AMD pan out? And this is the quote that you need to use as we move forward. And the quote I'm going to use and come back to in the future videos. Whether AMD does great or AMD does terribly, and vice versa with Nvidia. Will the MI3, I think it's the 355, right? Yes, the MI355 and the MI400 AI accelerators chip away at Nvidia's power. Because if they do, there could be an opportunity that AMD sees some success in the future and some fantastic growth in the performance of revenue and in the performance of this portfolio. Now, these videos, they're fueled by your comments, and your comments were about, hey, we should start a new different investing challenge. And that's what I'm bringing you with this particular one today and following up on an old video about AMD from the past. So make sure you comment below with your questions. Who knows, maybe your comment will be featured on the next video. So until that time, check out this video next. Keep living your perfect life and we'll see you on the next video.